Hey everybody, this is Alan Fine and I'm here with Carlo McAuliffe, who's the CEO of Malta Tourism Authority, and Noel Zammit, the CEO of Heritage Malta. And we're here to actually talk about Malta in a new way. Not just facts and figures, which you'll get, but also to learn about Malta historically through its food here on Insider Travel Report. So let's talk about Malta in general, and then let's talk about why we're here this evening. But there were some figures given, I think you gave them. How's the recovery? What's going on?
Well, the recovery has gone very well. We started in 2022, where we got 2.3 million tourists. And last year, we surpassed the number of tourists that we had in 2019, pre-COVID, where we reached 3 million tourists. In 2019, we had 2.75 million. We continued diversifying our tourism source markets. We had a great increase also from the US market, North American market. And this year, we're seeing that we should reach 3.5 million tourists. That's around 65,000 from the US market, another 25,000 from Canada. We're really pushing to further diversify our source markets. We want to go into long-haul markets in a big way. We're consolidating our position in Europe, but long-haul markets are the future for us.
Okay. And you said you wanted to strengthen the U.S. engagement.
Yes, we've worked hard over the last 10 years. Michelle Buttigieg and the team have done a great job bringing Malta on the map. 10 years ago, it was, where is Malta? What is Malta? Now everybody knows that Malta is there, and we want to build on that, opening up an office in New York in this mission, and the Malta mission to the United Nations, and we'll have a team, a bigger team working for us, and more investment in this market.
So this very building is where the new office is, right? Correct.
Yes, it's the new offices of the Malta mission, and our offices will be in this address, a prestigious address at the center of New York, and will be reachable more than we are today.
And the next question all the travel advisors are asking is, how's Lyft? How do we get there? How easy is it to get there? Is it getting better?
It is getting better all the time. We get one-stop connections from Paris, Brussels, Amsterdam, London, Munich, Frankfurt, Istanbul, and others. But lately we've added also Aer Lingus flying to Malta. Aer Lingus will be flying to Malta from Dublin, and it's a very good connection to several airports in North America. The next step would be trying to get up the numbers and make it feasible for a direct flight from America to Malta.
So, I mean, the airlines are watching. And basically, as the Americans travel there, it's like voting. It's like saying, look at the interest, correct?
Yes, we've been through this in Europe. 15 years ago, they wouldn't consider us. We ask for meetings and we don't get them. Nowadays, with 3.5 million tourists, around 3 million of them from Europe, the airlines are coming and offering their services to fly to Malta. We want to build up the numbers in North America and come to an agreement with the airlines that we're already working with, and get the direct flight going.
So now we're going to talk to you, I guess, because we're going to talk about taste history. It was an interesting shift in my perception. I understood Malta to be something, and now through the food and through the food going through the ages, it gave me a new outlook on Malta. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the menu and what we did this evening.
Yes, basically we have 8,000 years of history, but we know what food was consumed during these 8,000 years. We researched and we have the recipes. So what we're trying to do with Taste History is recreate those plates to be consumed within our museums, our historical sites, our prehistorical sites.
These were the ancient menus.
Yes. And we recreate them to the ingredient. Like that, we make sure that people not only see, touch, or read about our history, but they taste it.
Right. So for those of you who know Malta history, this will be interesting to hear how we moved through our menu. We started with the first course was our prehistoric ancestors.
Yes. That was the first plate that we offered, which the taste isn't the best you can get, but it's prehistory. Hey, so they don't have any particular ingredients, no spices,
Right.
But we did recreate an authentic dish.
We knew that as the dinner went along, the spices would grow more abundant, which happened.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, which exactly that's what happened then during the 15th, 16th century, where we used to get spices from Indonesia, from Kenya, from Ethiopia, and Maltese were fond of their food, of course, even at that time. So yes, we recreated again the plate that was consumed during that period.
The courses were named. So the next course was helping the founding fathers. Now, I enjoyed this course even better than the prehistoric one.
Yes, of course, we're very fond of game
Right.
in Malta, and that's rabbit. You know, rabbit was the first pies that were consumed were rabbit pies, and then we consumed it today.
Right. And with a flaky crust that was really scrumptious.
Yeah. It's important.
So right now, even as we speak, more food is coming out. So we're also going to have whitefish. What's a ship biscuit?
Biscuit, yes. You'll find that biscuit in all households in Malta. It's a ship biscuit. It's very simple. A crust, a thin, small crust of a biscuit, which is a salty kind of biscuit. And you can eat it with any kind of dip, both historical dip, but even modern dips.
Carlo, jump in at any point. Did you eat any of this?
Yes, I tasted all this in Malta. In fact, it's a great way to tell our history. When you're smelling, where you're eating, you're tasting, and even the wines. We've got some great wines in Malta. We haven't got big lands to cultivate the grapes, but it's a limited edition and high quality.
Michelle Buttigieg is always saying, well, we don't export it. We drink it all here. So it's nice you brought some with you.
Yes, it was a bit difficult to get them over, but we managed for this special occasion, and we'll have others. Michelle will be very active in the market, and will use the wine in other activity also. Yes.
But so then the next course I found very interesting because you're coming into more modern history, and it was called Joining the U.S. Navy. And so let's talk about that, because that's what's being served now.
Yes, basically the spare ribs and the mashed potatoes were brought to Malta by the U.S. Navy. And so we recreated that dish, and we still eat it today in Malta at Taste History, in our museums and our sites.
But now tell the story about, was it your grandmother?
Yes.
And the snail dish that I'm looking forward to.
Oh, the snail dish, yeah. We're fond of our snails. We've been eating snails for thousands of years. But the most particular recipe that we came across was from my colleague's actually grandmother. He was like interviewing her to get the recipe when she was adding the herbs and putting the rosemary and the ginger and stuff and this and that. And the final ingredient was Coca-Cola. What? I mean, yes, but it was common during that time when the US Navy was in Malta. They used to have Coca-Cola. They used to give us Coca-Cola at a time when Malta was suffering hunger. Right. So, yeah.
Now, this is a dish you knew through your childhood?
Yes, of course.
But you didn't know what was in it?
No.
And you were disillusioned that Coca-Cola was the secret ingredient?
Of course.
Great. So, but that just shows you how this eating your way through history enlightens the whole evening. It was really quite interesting.
The fact is that it shows that Malta has been the melting pot of the Mediterranean. You've got the spices from Africa, the cuisine from Europe, but then the US Navy came and added Coca-Cola to our cuisine. And that's a great connection of 200 years ago. And we're really fond that we found this.
The other thing that I learned that I found interesting was that Malta has always been, first of all, its position made it the place where, if you wanted to control or take care of the Mediterranean, that was you. You had the great harbors. But what I found so interesting was that in World War I, you were the nurse because the injured would come and you had the hospitals. And in World War II, you were the nurse to the battleships, that you fixed those, that you were always there in support.
Yes, yes.
And the good thing that we're always on the good side, the winning side. Yes, in the First World War, we had the Mediterranean Conference Center nowadays. It was the hospital of the Mediterranean. And one can still see inscriptions and writings on the wall of the soldiers that were treated there. And in the Second World War, yes, we did our part in helping the fixing of these ships. We suffered a lot. Malta was bombed much more than London. I believe 7,600 kilograms, tons of bombs in 1 year on Valletta and Grand Harbor. We had to rebuild everything, but thankfully, all went well. All's well that ends well.
So now let's wrap up. I'd like to tell our 127,000 travel advisors, what do you want them to know in order to sell Malta better? And let's end with a call to action. Where should they go to learn more?
Well, we think that Malta is more than just a destination for a holiday. It's a destination for an experience that you'll take home with, you'll take memories with, and you'll be happy to share with the rest of your family and friends. It's not a resort. Malta is not a resort. Malta is where you come in, and you come in as a tourist, and after interacting with the locals, because you stay in the hotels where the locals go, you visit the restaurants where the locals go, you visit the sites and anything that the locals enjoy, you come as a tourist, and we believe that you'll leave as a local, and you'll be one of our ambassadors in America to promote Malta to your friends and relatives.
Thank you very much, both of you, for talking to us.
Thank you.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.